Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Carvel Community Meeting. Today's date is October 21st, 2021. If you're watching this from home, I encourage you to come and join us live. We do meet every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. It's an opportunity for you to meet the maintainers, listen in on what they're working on, meet perhaps other fellow community members, bring up anything you wish to discuss with the maintainers or other community members that you might need help with regarding the Carvel tool suite. If you aren't able to join us, we also can be found in the Carvel Kubernetes Slack channel, the Kubernetes Slack workspace. If you're not already a member of that workspace, there's a handy link in this agenda that you can request an invitation to gain access to. And you can also find us on Twitter at Carvel_dev. If you do attend these meetings and you have something to discuss with the team, please put that discussion topic down below in the section here in the agenda. Also, we ask that when you are interacting with us or any of the community members, whether that's on Twitter or Slack or within these meetings or within GitHub, you read and abide by our code of conduct, which is listed here as well as on our GitHub repo. Also, when you attend these meetings, please put your name and any organization that you're representing down here in this section. That helps us keep track of who from outside of VMware is using the Carvel tool suite, helps keep those lines of communication open, perhaps learn more about use cases on how folks are using the tool suite. And we also ask that you put a comment into this pinned issue right here that kind of goes over how you are using the Carvel tool suite. And you can put your logo within the comment in PNG format, and we can add that to the adopters page, which will in turn help us cross-promote your organization. On to just a few announcements. We recently published 3 new blogs, blog posts. We have signing image packet bundles with cosign. Dennis, do you want to go over this blog post? Just kind of Cliff Notes version?
It just basically goes over how you can sign your image package bundles using cosign, and just go through a code walkthrough essentially, taking it from development to production.
Cool, thanks, Dennis. And we have this blog post that we posted shortly after our KubeCon keynote on Friday, October 15th. And it just goes over our package manager, kapp-controller, the background behind it, how you would use it. And so I encourage you to go and read that if you are interested in package management. Lastly, the blog post we posted on Friday as well goes over a case study that we conducted with the US Army and how they are upgrading their systems and using Carvel to improve their logistics and processes, to improve also soldier well-being in turn. So take a look at that. There's a lot of really in-depth information on the whole case study. So we would love to hear your thoughts on it. And perhaps it might be useful for you and as you're using the tools as well. Anybody want to add any comments to those before I move on? Just a reminder, Carvel is participating in Hacktoberfest. And what Hacktoberfest is a month-long celebration in October in which DigitalOcean and works on celebrating open source, promoting open source, and helping those that aren't quite as familiar with open source or might be intimidated by submitting their first pull requests. It helps folks get more experience with it, and makes it a little bit more comfortable as they dive into it. And we, as a project, we have our way of participating is we have labeled some issues with an image package in CAP. And that way, if you are participating, you can go in there, contribute some pull requests to those issues. And once you hit 4 pull requests in total, that anything that has a Hacktoberfest label, whether it's within our repos or other repos in GitHub that are labeled with Hacktoberfest, you will be issued a limited edition t-shirt to show that you participated and completed the contest. Okay. On to status updates, the project roadmap. Image package enhancements. Anybody want to go over what's going on there this month?
Yeah, I think there's essentially a couple of issues that me and Joel are working on. The one I'm working on is finishing up the new build command, which allows you to specify a bunch of files and to build a bundle and image directly to a tarball instead of having to push it to a registry and copy it down to a tarball. Joel can speak on the other issue if he wants to.
So the other issue is something that happens. It is related to the fact that when we're tagging images, sometimes there are images that are not all the images are in the registry at the time. When we tag, for example, if you're copying a bundle from a place to another, we tag the bundle before we create the images location. That basically is the OCI images that contains the placement of the images on the new registry. So what might happen is that if you're very attentive looking at the registries and you try to pull the bundle before that second image, the images location image is created, you will not get all the information needed. So this is basically the PR that I have that will change that order. So that's it.
Well, thanks, Dennis and Joel. Sumik, did you want to go over the CAP enhancements and what your team's been working on there?
We're still working on the epic we are working on, but something new and interesting is we've been figuring out a better way to deal with how we reconcile jobs, because a user recently pointed out that if the TTL after finish flag is set to, let's say, 0, sometimes jobs exit right after they succeed or fail, in which case CAP is unable to reconcile these jobs. So that's something we are working on this week. I think, yeah, that's all from me.
Well, thank you. What about YTT that we have coming up in November? Any update there?
Not much of an update, just continuing on. The story for supporting Open API schema for map items just got wrapped up, and we're working our way through array items right now. There's a few remaining stories in that epic.
Cool. Thanks, Carrie. Anything outside of the project roadmap that the team is working on within the Carvel backlog should be brought to anyone's attention? Okay. Moving on to discussion topics. I put a couple things in here that we touched on last week. Just wondering if there was any updates. I know Aaron isn't here, so he might be the one to proceed further with this, but the two items were, what if we use this time to slowly align on issues with the discussion label? Does anybody have anything to update there? Was that ever discussed outside of or was a team ever aligned on that? I think he was going to go and look for some discussion items, but. Okay. And then the other one was, how can we speed up docs PRs? Was there a
Like
final
that one we were-
consensus?
Yeah, like we did it.
Okay.
Everyone give yourselves a pat on the back, a gold star, and promptly merge your own documentation PRs. We did it.
Awesome. Great. Okay, and then Nick, you heard a rumor of an app set package feature?
I thought I saw something like that and I was like, oh, what is that? I should ask. is
Oh, like a set of application of packages that go together, and we even know which versions of them interoperate together, like that. So it's definitely it's under discussion and under it's in the planning phase. Do you have input? How would you imagine, what excites you in that space?
so I guess with TCE, one of the things that we are trying to do is, provide an opinionated set of packages, that a user could use to, basically, build an application platform, with Kubernetes. And, but some of those things, like they just don't work alone, by themselves. Like you just don't deploy Cert Manager and it's like, hey, yeah, great, I got Cert Manager, or it's like, hey, I'm going to deploy Contour, and it's like, okay, well, great. What are you going to do with it? You need like apps behind it, but really it's like, yeah, Contour and Cert Manager, they both work together really well, and then you have your application, that you're actually trying to. So, so yeah, is this basically a proposal of, I'm going to be able to build a package that incorporates other packages, or, I'm just saying, yeah, this package includes Contour and Cert Manager and then my own custom apps. And I'm going to have all the config that, makes it all work together.
I think one of the goals is to introduce a new space of nouns, so that rather than having a package that includes other packages, that we actually have some new names. And I would say, from my perspective, one of the things that's under discussion is what the right names are. So it's a little bit slippery to describe, but if you would imagine that TCE had the ability to say, we think you're going to use, we recommend this version of Contour, this version of Cert Manager, right, and et cetera, like down the line, and that you could bundle those together and be like, this, if you're tracking TCE, TCE recommends these packages at these versions. And then separately, somebody might have some package installs and they might say, oh, I just use straight Envoy. I don't wrap Contour around it or something like that. And that would be expressed on their system in their package installs. Mm-hmm. But that then they could choose to, again, this kind of like your bundle of these versions that you're specifying, you call it your app set, to use the name that you had. I could also mark something that says, hey, when they release a new app set, I want to pull in any incremental version bumps that they've released. So the same way that with a package install that you can do that today, because you could say package install, give me all new packages that you know about greater than 1.0, right? Or something like that. That we could say, I track all TCE package upgrades as they upgrade their app set, greater than 1.0. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think that is making sense. Okay. Yeah,
So,
no, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's very much in the draft stage. I know, like, I think this is maybe like Neil, Daniel, and I are primarily the ones thinking about it, so I don't want to bore everyone else to tears. But I know we're really totally happy to take input from you, or like at least it sounds like that's on the right track, but definitely reach out to us, whether in this meeting or like out of band in Slack, if you have some very specific use cases, like, but I want to make sure it also ties my shoes, right?
Right. Okay, well, yeah, I'll think of, yeah, I'll see if I can put together a narrative and maybe reach out. Cool, thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick and Joe. Anything else that folks have that they want to discuss before we end the call?
I'll just, I wanted to toss out, I got to meet Carrie Lynn last week at KubeCon, and that was very cool. Hello again.
Hey, that was fun.
Makes it feel like things are starting to get back to normal. Seeing people in the flesh.
Mhm.
Hopefully we will all be in Valencia, Spain, May 2022 for KubeCon EU. Fingers crossed. Okay, well, thanks everyone for joining this week's edition of the Carvel Community Meeting. If you are watching this from home, we would love to have you join us live. So come meet us, sit in on what we're working on, bring anything up you wish to discuss with the team. We would love to meet you and hear how you are using the Carvel tools. And with that, thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.